Hello, everybody. My name is Mr. Cantor, and this is Modeling with Mr. Cantor. Now, today we're going to be looking at Explore Part B. Look at what you see in front of you and just ask yourself, what do you notice? What do you wonder? So go ahead, please pause the video and let me know. All right, welcome back. If you said you noticed there's a coordinate grid in front of you, that is correct. If you said you noticed there are some points already plotted on the coordinate grid, you are also correct. If you said that you noticed that we have the letters A, B, C, D, and E on the coordinate grid, then you are correct as well. Now, here's some things that you might be wondering. What is a coordinate grid? How do you plot points on a coordinate grid? What are the different lines on the coordinate grid called? So please pause the video and let me know. What are the two lines on the coordinate grid called? What are their names? All right, welcome back. If you said this horizontal line is called the x-axis, then you are correct. Good job. And if you said this line, the vertical line, is called the y-axis, then you are correct. Good work. So now we know we have an x-axis and we know we have a y-axis. Well, what is the purpose of them? Please pause the video and let me know. All right, welcome back. If you said that every single point is composed of an x value and a y value, then you are correct. So essentially, every single point that we need to plot should look in the form of x, comma, y. Excellent work. So now that we know that, let's jump in and figure out what is the value of these coordinates that are already plotted on our grid. All right, so let's take a minute. Please pause the video and let me know. What are the coordinates for point A? All right, welcome back. Point A, let's take a look at it. We'll notice that point A on the x-axis is 1 space and a half a space. So that means that is -1.5. Now that's for the x value, but what about the y value? How high or how low is it? And we can see that this point is 1 space, 2 space, and that is exactly where it is located. So therefore, point A is located at -1.5, comma 2, because we are -1.5 units to the left on the number line from 0, and then we are 2 spaces up from 0 on the number line. Good work. All right, now with that said, let's look at point B. Please pause the video and let me know, what are the coordinates for point B? All right, welcome back. If you said that point B has an x value of 1, 2, 3, 3.5, then you are correct. The x value for point B is 3.5. Good work. Now, what is the y value for point B? Please pause the video and let me know. All right, welcome back. If you said the y value for point B is 1, 2, so the y value is 2, you are correct. Good job. So the coordinates for point B altogether has to be 3.5, comma 2. Good job. All right, with that said, let's jump into point C. Please pause the video and let me know, what are the coordinates for point C? All right, welcome back. If you said the coordinates are 3.5, comma -3, then you are correct. As you can tell, C happens to be 1, 2, 3, 3.5 spaces on the x-axis to the right of 0. So there you go. And it is also 3 spaces down from 0 on the y-axis. So that's why it's 3.5, comma -3. Excellent work. All right, please pause the video and let me know, what are the coordinates for point D? All right, welcome back. If you said the coordinates for point D is 3.5, comma -4.5, then you are correct. As you can see here, we will go 1, 2, 3 spaces. We're going to go half a space more. That's why we have 3.5 for the x. And then we have to go down, and we're going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces, and then a half. That's why we have -4.5 for the y. Excellent work. Now, let's jump to our last coordinate, which is point E. Please pause the video and let me know, what are the coordinates for point E? All right, welcome back. If you said the coordinates for point E is -1.5 for the x and -4.5 for the y, you are correct. Good work. So we can see that for point E, on the x-axis, we have to go 1.5 space, and that brings us all the way to point E. Good work. That's why it's -1.5 for the x. Now, why is it -4.5 for the y? Well, you can see that if you go down 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces, you still need to go down a half a space more to get to the negative 4.5. Excellent work all around. All right, with that said, let's move on to the next one. Let me clear my screen, and here we go. Now, what I want you to do is to please pause this video, read this question to yourself, and let me know. What do you think? All right, welcome back. Let's read the question together. It states, find the distance between each of the following pairs of points. All right, before we do this, how do you find the distance between points? What do you think? Please pause the video and let me know. All right, welcome back. If you said we can count the distance between points by just moving and counting with our mouse or our finger, then you are correct. There's other ways of doing it, and we're going to talk about some of them today. Now, they want to know the distance between point B and C. All right, so B and C. So before we move on, I want you to take a minute and identify where those points are. So please pause the video and identify where's point B and where's point C. All right, welcome back. If you said that point B is right here, and you said that point C is right here, then you are correct. So what we need to do is we need to figure out how many spaces are between both of these points. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our highlight tool, and let's do this. So we're going to start from here. We're not going to count this point. We're going to count how many steps it takes from this point. So from here, we're going to count downwards. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it seems as if the distance from point B to point C is 5 spaces. Since it is 5 spaces, where it says what is the distance between the following pair of points, what we're going to do is we're going to write 5 spaces. Good job, everybody. All right, with that said, let's look at the next one. It says the distance between point D and point B. Okay, pause this video and try this one yourself. What is the distance between point D and point B? All right, welcome back. Now, we have point B over here. It is already highlighted. And now we need to get to point D. I'm going to circle this with a different color so you can see which point we're talking about. Now we're referring to point D. And we'll need to get to point D from point B. So we're going to do exactly what we did last time, and we're going to count. So let's see if we get the same answer that you got. From point B, we have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces. And then it looks like we need to go 1/2 of a space. So 6 spaces and a half. So that means that this distance has to be 6.5 spaces. So we say that point D and point B is 6.5 spaces away from each other. Good work. Now, let's move on to point D and point E. Please pause this video and let me know. What is the distance between point D and point E? All right, welcome back. Just like we did last time, let's first figure out where are we actually moving to. So we are at point D and we need to get to point E. So this is our goal, is point E. Okay, let's do exactly what we just did earlier and let's count. This one's a little bit tricky because as you notice, we are in the middle. We're in the middle of two values. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep counting by middle values. That way we can get an exact amount of spaces we are moving. So every time you move over and you end up in another half value, we're going to count that as 1. So here we go. We're going to go 1 to the middle, 2 to the middle, 3 to the middle, 4 to the middle, and 5. Okay, so it seems as if the distance from point D to point E is exactly 5 spaces. So here is your highlight. And so now you can see that the answer for point D and E is 5 spaces. If you said that's the correct distance, then you are correct. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for point A, you should have gotten 5 spaces. For point B, you should have got 6.5 spaces. And for point C, you should have gotten 5 spaces as well. All right, my name is Mr. Cantor. Hopefully this video has been helpful to you. I will see you in the next one. Take care for now.